And to help people understand a little bit as well, our brains, if you think of our brains, basically they've got these highways and these pathways that we go down. Imagine you go skiing and all the people that have gone ahead of you, there's kind of just, you can see all the tracks that you're just going to kind of default go down, right? Our brain is like that. So we kind of use certain parts of it in these habituated ways, which it's a default network that then is developed in our brain based on the tasks, the way we think, how we accomplish things in this world. When you take psilocybin, it lights up parts of your brain that you haven't used. And so it would be like fresh powder has been laid down on the slopes, and you're free to explore and access all because there's no these ruts where you always go. And so those parts of our so we're it's not to say you're altering your brain, you're accessing parts of your brain that have been dormant because they have not been used or accessed in this lifetime. And once you start, even if you microdose, or you have to do this in a way, you don't just start popping mushrooms, but if you do this in very intentionally, it starts to rebuild and activate those dormant networks inside of yourself. And so you're not tripping, you're starting to turn parts of your brain online, which is
Yeah, Julie, you want to take this moment to kind of share how you guide people in these journeys?
yeah. So generally I speak with them either in person if they're in town. I do travel out of town, but I have two phone calls just to people who want to do this. Generally there's something they're stuck with, whether they can't seem to heal from childhood stuff, or they don't know a decision about a relationship, just they're feeling stuck. So I create a little safety just by talking and exploring that, and then we work together on setting an intention. The intention needs to be very specific, one or two sentences, and then the day of the journey, there's some ceremonial things that we do. I listen to my guides beforehand and create playlists that somehow it's crazy because they're like they'll start crying on the first song. It's like, oh, this song was played, and it's like, oh well, that's exactly how that works. Then I also do some tarot before we go in, and kind of do a very sacred ceremony, and then a spiritual you can take 1.5 grams up to 3.5 grams, which would be called a hero's journey. You kind of, but I take, kind of ask them, are you wanting just kind of a first time experience, or are you really wanting to go all the way here? I have a Reiki table and my crystal bowls, and I'm just sort of tuned into what might they need in this moment. And I'm led by the guides. Often there's a fire, so we can be by the fire. Some ginger tea in case they get nauseous. And then when I'm aware that they're in the journey, everyone except for one person has asked me to have a recording of what they're saying. So I'm kind of nurturing, I'm listening, but I'm also getting information about what they need and how I can sometimes see what they're seeing. And so then I understand what's happening. Additionally, I will get messages while they're in the journey. So I'll write all the messages down. And it's crazy when it's just crazy how they overlap. It's like, how does this even work? And then, it usually lasts anywhere between 4 and 8 hours. And then the person kind of comes back, and, it's a little food if they want a little food, a little just nurturing. I do Reiki sometimes while they're in the journey. That's when the light language started too, which is very interesting. And afterwards, I take the next day, at least half of the day, or a phone session if that's what they would prefer, to integrate, talk about what they experienced. And it's been such an honor to be a part of people's healing in this way. It's actually my favorite thing that I've ever been able to do and like call a job, because it's so amazing. And some feedback that I've gotten from one executive was, it was like 10 years of therapy. 10 years of therapy. And I'm like, wow. And it's been in my opinion, I've worked with people sometimes weekly for a couple of years, and it doesn't hold a candle. It just doesn't. I mean, it doesn't, because we can heal things. I can get messages from my guides about what would help them to heal, maybe what, natural practices to improve some health conditions, things like that, which is all very beneficial. But until someone is able to access new pathways in their brain, it's very difficult to become unstuck.
Well, I have also experienced kind of a less official mushroom journey with Julie when we were in the Bahamas together, and it was life changing and a beautiful experience. And I know that you have really helped a lot of people just unlock stuff that then can start flowing. So, Julie will be coming to North Carolina for my NC Peeps in October. So if you're interested in doing a journey with her, just reach out.
Yeah, that'd be great. It would be great. And I just want to say, I am merely a shepherd. Um, it is plant medicine. It is your own brain and your own higher self. I think I'm a lovely, wonderful shepherd, but all praise and credit to your own most higher self and the mushroom.